Hi, I am Chetan Kapoor. I work as the CEO at Tech Mahindra Foundation, and it's my pleasure to be speaking to the Samvaad team today. On the one hand, what has really helped us through the course of not just the last decade but the nearly 20 years of our existence is staying focused on certain themes. As you know, our overarching theme has been empowerment through education, and we have over the past 2 decades stayed close to this overarching theme of empowerment through education. There is a lot that gets packed into these 3 words, because we've decided through this that we are going to stay focused on the idea of working with others for others and using education as the key tool to bring about the empowerment that we desire. So, while on the one hand we have stayed focused, but at the same time we have also evolved continuously, because we realize that the field that we are working on is not a static one, it is dynamic, it is continuously evolving. The second point that I would like to highlight in terms of using our previous strategy to decide future course of action is being rooted in realities yet being open to possibilities. So, again, if you realize there is a bit of a duality here, because we know that it's important to stay grounded, stay rooted in knowing very well what is it that is doable and possible, but yet being very open to the idea that, as I stated earlier, we are not working in a static environment. So, there are always possibilities that we have to be open to, and I think the fact that we have been very open to embracing these possibilities, that has helped us stay the course over these years. The third point that I would talk about is the fact that we have been, on the one hand, been very confident about the capabilities that we have, and yet we have known all along that we can't solve the problems all by ourselves. We need to work together to ensure that we are able to achieve what we are meant to do. It's a question that I love to answer, because I have been so closely involved with the conceptualization, the evolution and the progress of the SMART, or the Skills for Market Training program, since we started in 2012, that for me personally it's something which is almost a labor of love. We've had a very mindful approach to program design. When we started, we made sure that we consulted with all possible stakeholders while creating the blueprint of the SMART program. Second, we started by designing an end-to-end solution. At that time, there were certain organizations which were working in just training students with the belief that once these students are trained, they can find employment. But we knew that it was not so easy. Even after training, a lot of these youngsters required the necessary support to get access to entry-level jobs, and therefore we focused on that aspect as well. But most importantly, we invested a lot in the mobilization of youth from the communities, and the thought that we had was that let's get the youth from the communities to the classroom to the companies. We embedded the idea of inclusion into the SMART program from day one. We looked at a number of courses where the gender parity is something which is more inbuilt, and so that is something which has made sure that till date at least 50%, and in many cases 60 to 70% of the students into our SMART courses are women. And second, of course, is the fact that we had some courses and some centers dedicated to persons with disabilities. Therefore, we made sure that the program had a lot of focus on processes. We created detailed SOP manuals for all elements of the program. We made sure that we are working with a network of NGO partners and not doing it ourselves, because we knew that the kind of reach that we were aspiring for, we could get only if we worked with organizations that were embedded in communities. We also made sure that there are certain elements of the program that had to be standardized, and we defined those, while making sure that you need to keep certain elements quite flexible, because we know that the complexities that we deal with in a country like ours would change from city to city, and even within the same city you will sometimes need to have a different kind of approach when it comes to mobilization or training or placements. So we made sure that this flexibility was also integrated and built into the SMART program. Next, we knew that in order to build this program, we had to start small, dig deep, and then scale up. That's something that we've done all of these years. We also made sure that there is a lot of focus on foundational skills. We actually went against the grain of what was the prevailing thought at that time, which was to equip students with marketable skills. However, when we went to the market and we understood the needs of the employers, we realized that a lot of them were actually looking for what was referred to as soft skills, but I personally believe that these are not soft at all. These are actually the harder skills to impart and obtain, and therefore calling these as foundational skills, we made sure that all our students go through certain courses which are related to communication, workplace readiness, and basic IT, and that continues to be an important part of the program till now. Then we made sure that we've stayed aligned to the market at all times. As I stated earlier, we have evolved, and so has the market, right? So the market has evolved, even the aspirations of the youth who we work for has evolved over time. So we've made sure that we keep a pulse on our youth. We've made sure that we keep a pulse on the employers, on the industry, and have made sure that our courses have evolved with time. I would say all of these factors, and of course the fact that we have decided to not just work with NGO partners but also go direct, also run the smart academies ourselves. I think all of these have been factors which have led to the success of the SMART program. Technology has always had a role to play as far as the SMART program is concerned. As I said earlier, from the time that we started, we made sure that a course on basic IT is part of the foundational courses that we do at SMART, right? So through that, all the students, now we've had almost about 350,000 students who have taken part in the SMART program, and all of them have gone through a course in basic IT. But in 2016, when the foundation decided to set up its smart academies, after healthcare, the second domain that we chose was digital technologies. So these digital technology academies have really been at the forefront of ensuring that we are continuing to be invested in technology. Especially in the last 3-4 years, the use of technology in our work is getting more and more integral, starting with a learning management system that we managed to get through the support that we have from GIZ. Also integration of augmented and virtual reality into some of our training courses, especially healthcare and logistics, have added a number of dimensions when it comes to learning opportunities for our students. We also have managed to launch a job portal focusing on the healthcare sector, given the huge need that is there in this sector to have job aspirants meet with job opportunities. Now we are really focused on integration of artificial intelligence, given the fact that that's something which is almost emerging as a foundational skill in times to come. So there are two things that I would want to talk about. One is that in our SMART program, in all our SMART centers and SMART academies, we are soon going to be introducing a course on prompt engineering. We are also going to be introducing a specialized course on AI data quality analysts. So that's a course that our team is currently working on, and we are also working with the consulting team at Tech Mahindra Limited in order to launch this course at some scale. Finally, I would like to say is that we have always looked at technology not as just a tool but actually as a mindset. It's something which everyone need to understand that you cannot survive the world of work today without having a positive attitude towards technology, towards ensuring that there is lots that you need to learn irrespective of the age and stage that you might be in, and that's something, that's a belief that we've tried to bring into our employability program. So I would now like to talk about two significant areas that are being included in the way that the SMART program is evolving. These two are technology and collaboration. We are looking at millions and millions of youth who require being trained in employability skills, and therefore the only way to be able to reach out to larger numbers is by collaborating. We've been very open to the idea of collaboration, but especially in the last 2-3 years, this is something which has, we've been stepping up on this. A major boost came in the year 2022 when a German agency called GIZ collaborated with us to infuse a lot of technology into our program, which I'll just talk about. And then over the last 2 years, we've had companies like JP Morgan, Microsoft, AT&T, and Michael and Susan Dell Foundation investing in the work that we do through SMART. So these collaborations in the last 2 years have not just been an endorsement of our work in skill development, but have also helped us scale up significantly. Thanks to the collaboration with the Dell Foundation, we have managed to launch a program called Samarth, which is an offshoot of the work that we've been doing in the very important area of skill development in healthcare. And thanks to this collaboration, we have in the last about 8 months or so opened our centers in various new locations such as Nasik, Aurangabad, Ludhiana and Patiala.